I implore you to remember that this video is pretty much showing off my initial impressions of the songs and isn't to be taken as a final verdict because my opinions can and will change in the future. Now, I wanted to make an Everglow comeback video, but then I saw that the boys were coming back on the same day, so I was like, you know what, let's throw them in there.
Again for the rest of our lives.
We're going to start off by talking about the pre-release section of Everglow's comeback. Now, their pre-release section was quite boring, honestly. From the concept videos, I thought it was going to be another song in the style of Dun Dun or Adios, which honestly I wouldn't have minded, but I know a lot of people were kind of against that. And then came the more retro concept, so I was like, oh, okay, you know, this is fine, I guess. And I always thought it was going to be Sihyeon's era. I don't know, I feel like she really stands out in the teasers and overall. So I watched the teaser and my initial thoughts were I just didn't think I was gonna like it. Like, I really didn't. It didn't sound all that appealing whatsoever. Then the highlight medley came and it just kind of cemented like my fears that I really wouldn't like La Di Da even more. As for the boys, I find what they did before they released the songs really interesting. The whole wanted image was like really cool, and I loved how they used like the newspaper article to kind of be like, oh, this is the order we're doing things. So it says here that on September 14th there's going to be like teasers and stuff, and I thought that was just really cool because I've literally never seen anyone do that. The lead up to the release was the most unique thing I've seen, and well, obviously I'm exaggerating, but it was a very unique thing. So first started, Sihyeon opens, and you know, she sounds great as always, but you know, I already felt that retro vibe that I'm not too hooked on. Honestly, the raps in this song are quite good, combined with the visuals of IU and Aisha, like, it just really completes it. Then the pre-chorus comes in and I'm like, literally so surprised to see Onda, and then Aisha hits us with these amazing vocals and it's like, whoa, what's going on here? This is not an Everglow title track. The Everglow Forever Let's Go by Yiren, it hits wrong. But then the chorus comes along and it's like, oh, this is fun, this is jumpy, this is great, but it's still retro-y, so I don't know, it might take me a little while to fully embrace it. Honestly, second verse raps kind of sound like a Momoland rap, but I don't hate it, you know. And then I was kind of surprised to see Mia rapping as well. I just never thought she was a rapper. Skip forward a bit and we get to the dance break. I mean, I didn't expect a dance break for this song, and I definitely didn't expect Sihyeon to get the dance break, which is like really surprising because I've never seen her as a dancer, if I'm going to be honest. And then Yiren's kind of shouty bit, like, that's kind of the only bit in the song where she's actually present, and it's actually great. Also, Sihyeon's vocals really shine here because I feel like Mia always overshadows her and no one really looks at Sihyeon, but I feel like she really showed up this comeback. And again, signature, well, what is becoming now signature Everglow pause before the boom of the chorus comes again, but it's in a really weird spot, but it works because it's in that weird spot. Honestly, I don't hate the song, despite me going into it thinking I would hate it. Untouchable started and I already kind of felt this retro concept carrying into the B-sides. And honestly, I don't think many groups do that. If they have a retro title track, then I don't think they'll ever have B-sides, and if they do have B-sides, then they won't carry on that retro theme. So I do praise Everglow for that. The pre-chorus reminds me of Sunset, the song by Twice, and I mean, at first I thought it was just the pre-chorus, but I think it is just the entire song it reminds me of. And I mean, the chorus is quite cute, honestly. It's not empty, and it's not like dead or anything. It's just pretty. The bridge has this kind of pouncing bass. I really don't know what to call it, I'm not a music expert. It really adds well because I feel like a punchy, like a big bridge wouldn't work for this song, especially since you go back into the soft usual chorus with like the high vocals and shit. Overall, the song is just very nostalgic. I feel like I could listen to it on a day where I'm just not having a good day. and just kind of feel cheered up immediately. I mean, I want to say something else about it, but I feel like I've kind of already said everything that I can say without repeating myself. So let's move on to Good Boy. As soon as the song started, I stabbed myself in the stomach because it wasn't that good, was it? Then the first verse comes in and it's a flat line. It reminds me a lot of that really terrible song on Twice's More and More album. I literally forgot the name of it. But then the pre-chorus comes in and it punches you in the face. And the pre-chorus is very, very good, and it makes me literally want to listen to the whole song just because of that pre-chorus. And then the chorus hits and it's just, I really hate the chorus. I'm gonna be honest. I don't tend to like anti-choruses, but this isn't an exception to that. The bridge is kind of a mix between the verses and the pre-chorus, which I think, even though I don't really like the song, it does match it very well. And then the outro is like the chorus with a bit more oomph in there. And while I do really like or even love some aspects of the song, the entire song as a whole can't be salvaged for me personally because of those few little bits. No Good Reason is a song much like Hush, and Hush was one of my favourite songs from last year. It was literally, I think, top 5. So it makes sense that No Good Reason is the best thing to exist. I don't know if it's better than Hush, but it's definitely on the same level, if not better. And oh my goodness, it's such a perfect song. If you don't like No Good Reason, and apparently 6 people don't like it because they've disliked it on YouTube Music, I mean, you guys are just missing out and you clearly don't know what good taste is. The verses in this song are stronger than Hush's verses, I think. I think Hush's verses were quite short and not fulfilling enough. Everyone contributes to this song very well, and that's something which it does better than Hush. And this song has a bridge unlike Hush, and it's longer unlike Hush. And I feel like the bridge wouldn't have worked in Hush, but it works very, very well in No Good Reason. And then that little boom, the bit where it falls flat before the final end tail of the chorus, it's perfect. It works perfectly, and I don't know how people can dislike this song. Moving on to the boys, we're starting off the album with Shine Shine, and honestly from the beginning I didn't think I'd like it, but then kind of the chorus boom, I don't know what to call it, came in, and I was kind of feeling it. It's got that kind of Sherlock Holmes sound to it. I don't think that's an actual sound. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know, I feel like it has that mystery sound which matches very well with the kind of entire concept for the album. The pre-chorus is very serene. It takes its time while also successfully building up to the drop again. And that kind of, I think it's a synth that's ooh, that's a really terrible description. And it just adds a lot. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of Fearless by 17. I don't know why, I feel like they give off the same vibes. I do like the song, but it just doesn't go anywhere, and I can't see myself actively listening to this later down the line. So take of that what you will. When the boys first shout their first line, I'm the stealer, yeah, that's not really the best choice they could have gone for. Then the little kind of mini dance break, the dead instrumental after that is odd, but sure, do whatever you want to do. The first verse isn't that memorable. I mean, the pre-chorus is completely forgettable, and then the chorus just sounds kind of messy the more you listen to it, I feel like. Because the first time I watched it, I didn't notice anything that bad about it. Maybe it was because I was watching the music video along with it, but while listening to the song without the music video, it doesn't work that well as a song. The second verse is infinitely better than the first verse, but the pre-chorus still kind of manages to kind of bring the song down to a halt and not escalate it any more than it should be escalated. The bridge is underwhelming, as is the kind of little pause after, and kind of the rap portions afterwards. I mean, they're good, but I feel like they're slightly misplaced. The song as a whole I don't think is very vibey without the music video. I don't think I could just sit down and listen to the song over and over, not only because of its intensity, but just because, much like Shine, it's kind of dead and flat and without any substance. And I mean, I'm sorry, but this is an honest review. You should have read the title. If you don't like what you're hearing, just dislike and leave. For a song called Insanity, it's not that insane, but I do like how the pre-chorus just completely kills the first verse. I mean, it's such a contrast that it works a lot. The chorus is just very melodic and it works really well, and while it's not a crazy song like the name might suggest, it's very vibey, kind of romantic, kind of put it on in the background while you and your lover watch Netflix, if you know what I mean. The second verse is very good. I like it a lot more than the first verse. I don't know, it might be the boys' vocals or just the overall feel I have for the second verse, but I don't know, it flows better, I feel. The chorus isn't the greatest chorus of all time, and neither is the post-chorus, but I don't know, I feel like one complements the other very well, and you can't have one without the other. Then after that, it jumps right into the bridge, which is just very melodic and again vibey. I feel like a lot of the songs on this album are vibey songs and they're made to vibe to. Honestly, the transition from bridge to last chorus just doesn't exist because like it moves so fast towards the end of the song, but I don't mind it because I mean the song's called Insanity, and while it's not an insane song, the movement that everything's kind of moving at is very fast for me personally, even though the song is almost 4 minutes, which is insane how they managed to do that. The verses for Whiplash are very, very fun. They're bouncy, and then especially when the rappers come in, it kind of gets a lot more party/disco-y. Then the pre-chorus kind of calms down from that and it kind of halts the song a lot more than is needed, but it works a lot. And then the chorus reminds me a lot of their cuter style of songs, and I vibe with it so much. I vibe a lot. This is definitely one of the best songs on the album. Like, the bridge is very fun and kind of mirrors the chorus, but adds more onto it. And then towards the very end you just get kind of like a little bit where it's just nothingness before it pops right up into the chorus again, and that's such a clever move. Whoever did that is truly a musical genius because the effect that gives off is so pleasing to the ears. It's just great. This is honestly one of the best songs on the album, and I think it might be my favorite. I'm not sure because there are a few good songs in this album, but I feel like this just kind of takes the cake. Make or Break as a song is quite similar to Whiplash, but I feel like it is worse than Whiplash. I mean, I know it sounds like weird to say that, but they're similar styles. I feel like the way the song progresses is also quite similar. That doesn't make it bad, it just makes it a worse version of a good song. But that's fine because it's not going to stop me from listening to it. The post-chorus in this song is just very pure. I don't know. I'm really good with adjectives, as you can see. It's pure. The verses in this song are better than Whiplash's. They add a lot more to the song than Whiplash's verses add to Whiplash. And the pre-chorus is also very bouncy and poppy, pip, pip, plop, boom. I'm very good at describing things. I should be a describer for my life. And the bridge is nothing special, but the pause before the final chorus is done well, and I can kind of see that that's a pattern in some of the boys' music. I honestly don't think that Checkmate stage version is different to Checkmate, their Road to Kingdom song. They are quite similar, but you know, I can't at this moment decide which one I like more, just because I haven't listened to Checkmate before. So it has this very cartoonish sound. Like, I feel like a villain in a Disney movie could sing this while like acting out their evil plans. In my head, I'm thinking of like Hansel and Gretel for some reason, and also like the mother from Rapunzel. Like, it's just one of those songs. The second verse is quite, you know, boring for me personally. Doesn't make it bad because the rap does go off hard, but you know, the instrumental isn't anything to wonder at. However, the pre-chorus does a really good job of picking up the pace and amping up the intensity before just completely throwing you headfirst into the chorus, which just kind of makes you speechless. I mean, I don't know what the concept for this song was, because obviously it was a Road to Kingdom song and I've not watched Road to Kingdom and I'm not planning on watching it. But you know, I can imagine it being like a fairy tale song, because that is exactly what it sounds like. The bridge is also done well, that kind of spooky forest tap tap pacing. Oh my goodness, I just love it. Okay, so like now I'm kind of stuck whether Checkmate stage version is better than Whiplash, because like both of the songs are absolutely magnificent. But you know, the more I'm listening to Checkmate stage version, I do think I prefer this to Whiplash, although it's very close. You know, and the outro to the song, it just completes it. I don't know, this really is like a Disney villain song, isn't it? It's just great. And that's this for this comeback review. Overall, I think I'm quite happy with Everglow's and the BOYZ's comebacks. Everglow's title track was better than the BOYZ's, but I feel like more of the BOYZ's B-sides left an impact on me. I do like both of these comebacks quite a lot. I prefer Everglow's, though I will never forget the BOYZ's marketing and the way they went around promoting it before the song actually came out. That was beautiful. I don't think anything's ever beating that. But you know, thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed, and please make sure to support both Everglow and the BOYZ. Opinions will change over time, and you know, I hope you had fun watching this video. If you want to leave your opinions down in the comments, I'll be glad to talk about my opinions and your opinions and kind of see what we like, what we don't like, or what you like that I maybe don't like, etc. I'm rambling. You know, thanks for watching.